and welcome to Washington, D.C. We visited Washington on one of the coldest days of 2021, and we really enjoyed our visit. We're standing in front of the Gatekeeper's House, the start of our journey through the National Mall. It was a guided historical tour, and we hope you enjoy the tour as much as we did. As we gazed upon the monuments and we looked upon the many memorials of all the soldiers and citizens and ordinary people who gave their lives for our freedom, Ted and I both couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. We learned a lot about the history of the United States through our travels, and this really felt like a culmination of all that history here. The Washington Monument is made up of some 36,000 blocks of marble and granite stacked 555 feet in the air. It is composed of granite and marble from quarries from New England and Maryland at two different stages of construction. You can see the difference in the marbles when you look at the monument. We are at the World War II Memorial, and there's two sides, Pacific side and the Atlantic side. We're going to go start at the Pacific side and check it all out. World War II Memorial honors 16 million people who served in the armed forces of the United States during World War II, and more than 400,000 who died, and the millions of people who supported the war effort from home. The memorial stands as a reminder of the power that can flow when our free people are united and bonded together in a common and just cause. There's all the names of the different territories and states. American Samoa and Guam are territories, aren't they? There's Hawaii, District of Columbia, New Mexico, Utah, Idaho.
Okay, Denise.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt served as the 32nd President of the United States. He served 4 terms. He's the only President of the United States to have served that many terms. He served from 1933 until his death in 1945. He's a member of the Democratic Party. He became a central figure in the world events during the first half of the 20th century. Roosevelt is known for such feats as the New Deal during the Great Depression, the Civil Conservation Corps, and other really famous acts that used government to help support the people. Roosevelt's only criticism is his treatment of Japanese Americans in concentration camps during World War II. Eleanor Roosevelt, in a video that Ted and I had seen, said that Eleanor might have been one of the first female presidents of this country, although not elected. When Mr. Roosevelt, or President Roosevelt, had his stroke, he was severely incapacitated, and it's believed that Eleanor made many important decisions for the U.S. government to help her husband. The FDR Memorial really is the only memorial to have 4 rooms, first of all. It includes a statue of the First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, and it's also the only memorial to feature a presidential pet, FDR's dog named Fala. Unlike many memorials which are made from white granite, the FDR Memorial is created from red granite, which had to be shipped all the way in from the Dakotas. The memorial has over 20 quotes by FDR, inscribing inside of the walls, included his famous, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." The Lincoln Memorial is a U.S. national memorial built to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Here we go up the Lincoln Memorial stairs, and she said halfway up we'll see the spot where Martin Luther King said his "I Have a Dream" speech, which is kind of cool, right, honey? Yeah. Let's see if we can find that spot. It's on the western end of the National Mall in Washington, D.C., across from the Washington Monument and the reflecting pool. The building contains seated Abraham Lincoln and two inscriptions of two well-known speeches by him, the Gettysburg Address and his second inaugural address. The memorial has been the site of many famous speeches, including Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech delivered on August 28, 1963. Ted and I are standing on the MLK spot where he delivered his famous speech. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 and died by assassination on April 15, 1865. Lincoln led the nation through the American Civil War and succeeded in preserving the Union, abolishing slavery, bolstering the federal government, and modernizing the U.S. economy. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial includes names of over 58,000 servicemen and women who gave their lives in service to the Vietnam conflict. There are two 200-foot-long sections that make up the wall. One is directed toward the Lincoln Memorial and the other is toward the Washington Monument. The veterans' names are listed in chronological order by date of their death and begin and end at the center of the memorial where the two sections meet. Having the names begin and end is meant to form a circle, a completion to the war. Keeping watch over the wall are three figures in a statue honoring those who fought and returned from the war. Not far away is a sculpture of three women caring for a wounded soldier. It honors the contribution of women in the war. The Memorial of Martin Luther King Jr. honors his legacy and the struggle for freedom, equality, and justice. A prominent leader in the modern civil rights movement, Dr. King was a tireless advocate for racial equality, working class, and the oppressed around the world. The Korean War Veterans Memorial commemorates the sacrifice of 5.8 million Americans who served during the 3-year period of the Korean War. The 19 stainless steel statues represent an ethnic cross-section of America. The statues stand in patches of juniper and rice paddies. The troopers wear ponchos covering their weapons and equipment. The ponchos seem to blow in the cold winds of Korea. The mural wall depicts 2,400 photographs of the Korean War from the National Archives. Built in the 1920s, the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool on the National Mall has been the backdrop for many historic U.S. events. The rectangular pool is 2,028 feet long and 167 feet wide. Its glassy expanse can reflect the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and the rows of shade trees that line the sides. Here's President Biden at COVID-19.
Thank you, Lori. As I said to His Eminence as we were waiting to come in, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if there are any angels in heaven, they're all nurses. We know from our family experience what you do, the courage, and the pain you absorb for others. So thank you. Thank you. Your Eminence, Cardinal Gregory, and Yolanda Adams, to heal, we must remember. It's hard sometimes to remember, but that's how we heal. It's important to do that as a nation. That's why we're here today. Between sundown and dusk, let us shine the lights in the darkness along the sacred pool of reflection. Remember all whom we lost.
This is the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. One of the signers and the founder read of the Declaration of Independence. We're eating at Via Sofia. Hi, honey. We just finished our tour and of Washington, D.C., of the monuments. We saw a glimpse of the White House from afar. I figured that was close enough because it's just been locked down, so, right? Yeah, and we're eating at Via Sofia for dinner, and then we're going to go pick up Jack and head back to Virginia. So, sounds like a plan. The Carne pizza, it has mozzarella cheese. What is this called?
Cilantro?
No, and no.
Oh, what?
Arugula.
Arugula, yeah.
And prosciutto, and Ted had a bolognese. Bolognese, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Bolognese, and it's really good.
Really
And the
good.
coffees are very smooth, and the bread was good.
Everything's good.
Everything was delicious. So we are going to eat. And it's our belated anniversary. It's been our anniversary for 16 years now. Happy anniversary.
If there is something we need, it's a leap of faith. A step away from the comfort zone and be a little brave. So take a look around you. How far can you see? How far do you think you can run? Standing on your knees. It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful world out there. It's a beautiful world out there. It can be a bit frightening, something you don't know. You need a little enlightening, it'll make you go. It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and a moment to spare, it's a beautiful